to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today is Saturday. Today is, I think it's May 10th?
10th.
Okay, so just want to say that we have a new pope. Was elected on Thursday, the third vote. So he is known as Pope Leo the 14th, first American born in the United States. Not the first American. The first American was actually Pope Francis, which was in South America. And
North America. This guy.
And Pope Leo the 14th is from North America. So 2 Americans have been voted into Pope. If you want to do semantics, that's what it is. So today I'm making beef braciole, and I'm making it my way, the way that I grew up eating it, the way my father made it, the way my mother made it, and the way I eat it when I'm in Naples, Italy.
I love it.
I love it. So there are so many different ways to make braciole. There is no wrong or right way to make it. You can fill it with whatever filling that you want, just as long as you use flank steak. I think that's the best kind of meat to use on this one. So let me show you what we're going to do. So first thing is first. I made Sunday ragu, and I have it cooking here, as you can see. And I have my meatballs that I made the night before. I will put a link in the description below on my meatball video. And I also have a couple of sausage in there. I have some Italian sweet sausage, and I have some Italian spicy sausage.
I love it.
Yeah, this is going to be our sauce probably for about a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot here. People always say, like, why do you cook so much for just 2 people?
But how do you last?
Yeah, but not only that, I'm Italian. I got to cook. You know, I make, this is the way we do it.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay, so that's cooking, and that's where my braciole is going to be going in. Okay, so this is what you're going to need for beef braciole. You're going to need flank steak. I have 2 pieces. I'm not making that much braciole. I can cut them in half and make 4 little ones, but I'm going to make 2 really nice sized ones. You're going to need some prosciutto ham. This is imported prosciutto ham. I would try to get the imported. It tastes so much better. If you think it's a little bit more money, which you're going to pay for, then of course get the domestic, but it has to be prosciutto. We're going to use a half a cup of breadcrumb. We're going to use some provolone cheese, which I basically broke up in strips. So you can buy a piece of provolone and actually grate it and do it that way. So either way, you can break it up in pieces like this, like I did, or you can just grate it up. Totally up to you. I have basically, probably I want to say 1/4 cup of Pecorino Romano grated cheese. I have some raisins. I have some roasted pinoli nuts that I roasted in the oven. And I have 3 cloves of garlic. You're going to need fresh parsley. And you can, to roll it up and to tie it, you can use 2 things. You can either use string, which I'm going to be using the string today, and you can get this almost anywhere now. You can probably even buy it in a department, in a supermarket, or you can use toothpicks. Totally up to you. Today I'm going to be using.
But you cannot use staples.
Oh yeah, don't use staples. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So, and this is the only ingredient you need to make braciole. Like I said, braciole is very, very easy to make. You could fill it with whatever you like. You could fill it with mozzarella. You could, there are people that actually put broken up egg in it. You could put regular ham in it. You could put salami. You could basically fill it any way you like, and as long as you fry it up before you put it into the sauce. Braciole originated from southern Italy, so anywhere from southern Italy on down up to Sicily. This is where this dish was originated. Different regions will argue that they were the ones that came up with it. Neapolitans will say it was them. Sicilians will say it was them. People from anywhere from down south in Italy will say it originated in their town. That's still being debated. This is a staple in Italy. This was basically only made back in the day. Originally, when braciole was made, it wasn't made with meat, it was made with pork. Meat was a luxury. And when they did make braciole with meat, it was only made during celebrations. When they were celebrating a birthday, a wedding, an anniversary, they would make braciole and they would put it in their sauce. And that's what they used braciole for. It wasn't an every Sunday thing, because like I said, meat was a luxury. When Italian immigrants came over to the United States, they kind of Americanized it. They're the ones that actually started putting prosciutto in it. They started putting mozzarella in it. They started putting grated cheese in it, pinoli nuts, raisins. So, like I said, no wrong or right way to fill it. Fill it any way you like with whatever items you like that you enjoy. I am making it the way my mother and father made it. I am making it the way my aunts and my grandparents made it in Naples, Italy. The majority of Neapolitans make it this way. So, and the only thing they basically add is they add the pinoli nuts and they add the raisins. So that's the way Neapolitans make it. So what we're going to do now to get started is we're going to tenderize our meat. Like I said, I have 2 nice flank steaks, and it's very easy. If you're not sure on what type of meat to buy, just ask your butcher when you're in the supermarket. And basically, this package was already made for rolling up and making braciole. So I got very, very lucky. Some people will buy a nice flank steak and just make their slices and roll it up. You can do it that way too. I prefer to buy it when the meat in the supermarket's already prepared for making braciole. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually tenderize the meat. Okay, so I pounded out 1 steak already. So I'm going to do the other one to show you. Basically, I have some cling form here.
Cling wrap.
Here. Cling wrap.
Cling filling.
Cling wrap, cling form. And I'm just
Filling.
going to cover it. Take any mallet, and basically you want to just tenderize the meat.
You're breaking the muscle fiber down.
Yeah, so it cooks. It's nice and tender. I mean, you don't want to smash it too much.
When you start seeing the wood, you probably went too far, right?
I went too far. Okay, so this piece is done. And nice and thin.
That's a good piece of goods.
Okay, so we have 2 pieces done. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put together our filling and we're going to start assembling our braciole. Be back in a sec. Okay, now that we have our steaks pounded, we're going to start making the filling. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the breadcrumb. Okay, we're going to add the provolone cheese. Again, like I said, you can grate this.
It's better like that, though.
I like it in a little bit of chunks like this because then I get to taste some of it. And you can, of course, you can add more, or if you want, you can add mozzarella. We're going to add the pecorino romano.
Those cheese, can you mix those together?
Yeah. We're going to add the raisins. We're going to add our pinoli nuts.
Oh, that goodness.
We're going to take a sprig of parsley. Let me get a nice amount here.
That's homegrown.
Can get some nice parsley here. And get some garlic. I like garlic.
Oh, it's good for you too. Good for your heart. It's good for your cholesterol.
Absolutely. One more little clove. Okay. I'm going to add this. Okay.
Some garlic right there. You missed.
Oh, a little piece of garlic. Okay. I'm going to use it back on top. We're just going to give this a little mix. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our olive oil because we want it like the stuffing to kind of stick together a little. A little bit more. I think I made a lot. I think I made a lot of stuffing.
You did.
Yeah. So if you had another piece of meat, this will probably be enough for 3. So I'm probably going to have leftover.
put it in the stuffing jar. Leftover stuffing jar for Braciole.
Just gonna add a tiny bit more of olive oil. Stuffing drawer.
Stuffing jar
Okay.
for your Braciole.
For my Braciole.
Put it in the refrigerator.
Okay. There you go.
That breeze feels so good. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's nice and breezy today. So Pope Francis was actually voted the first Pope of the Americas. The first Pope of the Americas and the first Pope ever to be voted Pope outside of Europe. Pope Leo XIV, the new Pope, is the second Pope from the Americas and the second to be voted Pope outside of Europe. So
the first of North America.
Right, North America. So there have been 2 elected popes from the Americas. One from Argentina, which is South America, and one from Chicago, which is North America. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our flank steak, going to lay it down. We're going to actually do some salt and pepper.
With pepper.
Okay, and then what we're going to do
What
is...
about pepper?
Oh,
Put the pepper. You didn't put the pepper in. You said salt and pepper.
yeah, I got pepper.
Oh, you did? I didn't
Yeah.
see it. Oh my god.
We're going to take 2 pieces of...
That was my fault. I wasn't paying
2
attention.
pieces of prosciutto. We're going to put that here. And we're going to put another... Let's get the smaller one. We're going to put the other one here. And what I like to do is I could just pound it in a little.
Yeah, it's good. You can infuse the flavors that
Actually,
way.
I can take a little piece here. Because I didn't get that much prosciutto, so... I like to pound it in. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our filling. Yeah, I made way too much filling. Don't overfill it. This is fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm just going to start rolling. And don't worry if stuff falls out the side. That's fine. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking my string. And I'm going to actually bring it underneath here. I'm actually going to make a little knot here first. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. Okay, then you bring it up, hold your finger, bring it up again. I'm going to cut a piece off. I can always get rid of what I don't want. Okay, I'm going to bring it through here. I'm going to bring it through here. And then I'm going to bring it through here. Again, I think I did too much string. Again, I'd rather do more than. There you go.
Which one was tight?
And then just tighten it up. Get my scissor. And
There you go.
there's your first piece of Braciole. Very, very easy. I'm going to do one more for you. Let me just clear this off. So let's get started with the last one. So I have my Braciole, salt, pepper, pep,
Pepper.
pep.
Pepper flavor. Pepperoncino heat.
Okay, and then our stuffing. God, I made way too much stuffing,
Oh
but
god, yeah.
that's okay. And then, oh, forgot. I killed, thank God.
Oh,
Make
man.
sure you put your prosciutto down. That's the most important thing.
The first thing that goes is the wine. You know that, right?
It is the first thing that goes.
The first thing.
Okay, I like to pound mine in. Tenderizing it again, but...
And you're infusing the flavors together.
Yeah, you're infusing them together.
Ah, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, now we do the stuffing. So, again, don't overstuff, but...
Don't understuff either.
Don't understuff either, right. Wish I had another piece of Braciole. I would make another one because I hate to get rid of this stuffing, but...
You can't keep that stuffing for you?
No. Okay, always start off with the big end down here, which is the water end, and leave the, there's a little piece in front. Right there. Okay, nice and full, but not overfilled. Is that a word? Overfilled?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then you just roll. And then bring the top in this way. Okay, don't worry if some comes out. Again, remember, there's still a lot in there. I think this is enough string. Last time I used way too much. Okay, so the first thing is first, let's lift this guy up. Let's make a little knot. Okay. Wrap it through. Bring this piece here. And then you can pull. Another wrap here. And then bring this around. And pull it through here. Again, tie it any way you want. And again, if you don't want to use string, by all means, use toothpicks. Okay?
You can't use Q-tips though.
You can't use staples.
Yeah, staples. You can't use staples either. And not nails either. Screws like that.
Yeah, you don't want to hammer a nail through here.
Basic string is the best.
I'll make a double knot here. Then take it. And we're done. And there's your second Braciole. So the next thing we're going to do, came out really, really good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to fry them up before they even go into the sauce. Remember, this is not like meatballs. Sometimes people put meatballs in their sauce raw. I do that sometimes, but the sauce has to be cooking very hot. You could put your raw meatballs in. They keep them very moist and tender. Don't worry about it because they cook slowly. So that's a good way to cook meatballs too. But this right here has to be fried. So when we come back, we're going to start frying them up. Okay, so in a frying pan, I put a little bit of olive oil and I put some butter so the olive oil doesn't burn. So this has been heating. So what I want to do is I want to cook my 2 pieces of Braciole. I just want to leave them.
Let me turn audio so you can hear the sizzle.
Okay, so you want to cook those until they're fully cooked. We're going to come back and we're going to check them and we're going to periodically, is that the word I want to use?
Yeah,
like periodically. We're going to turn them right now. If you notice, they're starting to cook. Get a little bit of, I like to get a little bit of the juices in.
Marinate.
Lower the heat. We don't want it too high because we don't want the butter to burn. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to turn them over and see in a bit. Okay, so these have been cooking, if you see how nicely. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to shut the heat.
Nice sear, nice sear.
Got a nice sear on them. We don't need this anymore. So there you go, 2 beautiful Bracioles. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to let that just sit for about a minute or so, and then we're going to add them in the sauce. And when we come back, we're going to add them in the sauce. Okay, you ready?
I was really good at putting on you. Damn.
Not too close.
Okay, you are recording. Shit.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, my
you
God.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a new cameraman. All right, back up a little. Okay, so my Braciole is done. This is what they look like. And they look absolutely delicious just the way they are, but they're going to cook in the sauce.
Yes.
So my sauce I moved back over, and I'm actually cooking that. And me and Jimmy just tasted a meatball.
It was awesome.
And let me tell you, they were absolutely delicious. And I think, I mean, these are really, I mean, I make really, really good meatballs, but for some reason, these were a little bit more dense. And I also put pinoli nuts in them for the first time. And James goes that he tastes something that's a little different, but he likes. And I said I put the roasted pinoli nuts because my mother used to put pinoli nuts into her meatballs. So I decided to try it this one time. So it came out really good. And the reason why the meatballs were a little bit more dense than I normally do, I was forming the meatballs yesterday, and then once they were on a tray, I saw I left the 2 eggs
Oh my God.
on the counter. So I had to undo the meat. I had to add the eggs. Because when you overwork the meat, it becomes very, very dense. Thank God they're not rock dense, but they're still very, very good. But normally my meatballs are very soft, but these actually came out very good.
So very good.
Now the next thing we're going to do is my sauce is now heated up again, and I'm going to just nuzzle my little
submarines.
My little bracioles on the bottom. Let's see, make a little room here. Look at that meatball. Oof, my God, that meatball was so good. Oof, look at another meatball. Oof. Madonna mia. Oh, this is so good. So now this is going to cook in the sauce for a while. So right now it's probably about, I want to say 12 o'clock. So I just got to be careful when I stir because I don't want to disrupt.
8 hours?
No, this is not one of those bolognese sauces.
Oh, okay.
This sauce is ready now. If I didn't put the Braciole in, this sauce is ready now. But we're gonna cook, and again, you can't overcook sauce. I mean, you can, but I mean, you can't leave it on for 24 hours. But the longer you cook sauce, I think the better it is. So this is gonna cook for another. I'm gonna put it on low. This is gonna cook for probably another, I want to say 2 hours. Get that Braciole cooking really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my spoon on the side. And I'm going to put my cover slightly ajar. And that's it. And then we're going to wait. So now it's a waiting game. Look at that piece
of sauce right there.
All right.
Look at that. See?
All right. Here, look clean. There you go. Okay. So when we come back, we're going to check the sauce again. And then probably in about 2 hours, we're actually going to shut it off and we're going to serve it up. And we're going to cut into one of the Bracioles. Bellissimo.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this has been cooking. My sauce is done. I took all the meatballs, the Braciole, the sausage out. Got my water in the back because we're going to be having spaghetti. I'm going to make a pound of spaghetti because whatever I have left over, I'm going to make a spaghetti pie, and I'm going to make a video on how to do that. But this is all the meat that was in my sauce. So I have my meatballs here, my sausage here, and these are the 2 Bracioles. So what we're going to do is since this video is about the Braciole, we're going to take 1 Braciole and we're going to just put it on this plate. We're just going to switch. And the first thing we're going to do before I do anything is, I want to show you what the inside looks like, but remember there is string to this, so you just cut the string.
Like removing stitches.
Like removing stitches, right?
Yeah.
And this is where the knot was, okay. Oh. Okay. So this is where the knot was. Take this off now. Always make sure you do take off the string. Some people, me being one of them, I didn't eat the string, but I actually have left the string on. And then I have this last piece here. Okay, so all my string is gone. I'm just going to get rid of that. Sorry about the mess. Let's
Work it up fast.
just wipe it up fast.
There you go.
Okay, because we hate mess. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this. Wow, look at that. Look at the inside of that. Wow, you can see all the stuffing. You can see the cheese. I'm gonna give it a taste. Let me cut one more little piece. I'm gonna cut another piece. And I cut one piece. Wow, that looks so good. Okay, so I'm going to give it a taste for you, but what I'm going to do, which I like to do, is I'm going to add a tiny bit of ragu on here. Okay. And I am going to give this a little taste for you. Oh my God, that is so delicious. That is so good. I taste the currants. I mean, I taste the pinoli nuts. I taste the prosciutto ham, which is right there.
You taste the raisins?
I do taste the raisins as well. It gives it a little bit of a sweetness to it. This is absolutely delicious.
Calm down.
Again, this could be a meal by itself. If you made a couple of them, you can actually have this as a meal. But this is actually going to be a side dish because, like I said, we're making spaghetti. Try this recipe at home. It is absolutely delicious. But like I said, there's no wrong or right way to make this. Fill it with whatever you like. But try this recipe. It is absolutely delicious to make braciole this way. God, it's so good I can't even talk. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna sit down with our plate of meatballs.
Calm down.
Our plate of meatballs, our sausage, our braciole. I have the water boiling for the spaghetti. We're gonna have spaghetti, so we should be eating probably within 20 minutes. So that's it. This is very easy to make braciole. I'm gonna just take one more piece. And that is so good. So, like I say at the end of all my videos, take care of one another, especially now, and let's pray for Pope Leo the 14th. Peace out.